I'm glad that YouTube's working now.
Hmm.
I checked before, and in the last hour, it had 10 complaints compared to the 800 that it had the other day. So it's a step in the right direction. Oh, who's left? Which bastard has fucking left? Oh, Day. Day and
There's a
Patrick.
little there's a little robot dog in my game that when you walk up to it, you can press X to activate the good boy protocol.
Oh, God. Okay. Who's a good boy?
That's actually they actually stand there and pet it and everything. It's so cute.
Okie doke. Where's Craig?
Off like in his own balls.
Oi! Is he in yet? Is he in? Did he get in? Oh, we might have done. He might have done.
Sure, that's not the first time he's heard someone ask that about him.
I got my eyes on Discord in case the boys want to do a restart. Let me know, guys. If we can have a representative of the drivers' union inform us whether or not the consensus is to restart or not, that would be greatly appreciated. If we don't receive any approach from any of the drivers, then I will assume that the consensus is to not restart. Pardon me, that was a genuine cough. I wasn't being sarcastic. I just choked on my own. Anyway, so here we are. In fact, Craig's here. So who was it that dropped out then? What? What?
Um.
Smokey.
Yeah.
We've lost Smokey.
Yeah, looks like he's just given up.
No, was he DQ'd? Because he didn't leave. He must have DQ'd.
No, because he's not in the pit lane.
He must have DQ'd because he didn't leave. I didn't see a notice saying Smokey Devil's left. Oh, he's just joined. What?
Told you.
Oh. Alright, if anyone's listening to the stream, any of the drivers, if you want to restart, make sure you spam... No, don't even spam. Just somebody let us know in the GT4 chat if we want to restart. If you don't, I will assume you don't want to. Up to you guys. Oh, Ozzy says it's your choice. I mean, yeah, we might as well restart. We've got time, haven't we? We've got a bit of a buffer now. Wait, what chat did I put the message saying that they could invite X-Martin Lady in? Did I not? Oh, no, I posted it in GT4 chat, I found it. Oh, alright, we've got to wait for John Boy, because John Boy's game always crashes. When you leave a session midway, it always crashes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think X-Martin Lady meant for the next round.
Ah.
As soon as John Boy is in, we can go. Oh no, I'm reading the toilet.
Go.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Christ. Yeah, I think that's a school or some shit.
Oh no, I think my nan's in the toilet.
Oh,
I just heard a cough with an echo. Oh no, are you joking? I've got to try, haven't I? I feel like a
yeah.
fool if I hear I go in there now, thinking, oh god, I had that opportunity. Alright, hold on. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We are back here for the second race of the night. We are a few minutes away from the end of this qualifying session, the only qualifying session of the evening for this middle race. I'm back here with Ian. Sorry about that, Ian. I just had to pop to the lavatorium.
Ah, you're fine.
Thank you very much for your understanding. But nonetheless, we've got
I
all the
wouldn't
drivers
exactly
out.
call it understanding.
Say again?
I wouldn't exactly call it understanding, but for
Tolerance.
meh. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, same thing, eh? But anyway, we've got BT and Nicky in the pits at the moment. So those two opting to start at the back. They've been saying to me earlier on tonight they don't want to be in the way. You know, there's championship going on. They don't want to be messing with that, which is, you know, I respect that. I said to them for the last race, though, it's always a reverse grid based on the results from race 2. So I said to them, you know, if they want to take their positions, they can. Um, so let's see where they end up in this race. And obviously, that will influence where they start for this final race of the night. But before that, we've got to get to this race that we've got in front of us at the moment. Who are the contenders for pole? Surely Mike's got to be the favourite based on his pace from the first race and his eventual win as well.
I'm gonna after how many positions BT Target earned. I'm gonna give him a fair chance.
BT for the win, you say?
Yeah.
That is bold. I can't tell you what odds I would give you on a BT win, but I would say, I mean, at least 5-1. I would say.
Hey, there's always worse odds.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully I'm not a bookmaker, so I don't make up these things. But yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to make some odds for you. How much money are you putting on?
None, but I'll give you a kick to the nuts.
Oh. Well, best leave it then. But currently Mike is on provisional pole position. He's got over 1.3 seconds at the moment, Iain, over John Boy. So Mike seems to have something extra here around Zolder. I remember in the first part of the season, we were all scratching our heads saying, what's happened to Mike this season? He just didn't seem like the same Mike. John Boy was dominating all the races and Mike seemed to be nowhere. It now seems that the tables have well and truly turned, though.
Yeah, it's very much it's very much like Sergio Perez. You know, last season he was doing wonders. This season, like what's happening? Except for this time, it's all in one season. It's just very remarkable how fast things can turn around, seemingly for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely is. We've got Martin back in the comments there. Xmart says, go Nicky, go BT. And Emma also, good luck guys. Nice to see some different drivers on the track. It is, yeah, good to see some previous drivers from back in the day back out on the track. We can see John Boy coming through the middle sector. He's 2/10 up on his personal best at the moment, but his personal best is 1.3 seconds off for the pole time. So he's going to have to pull out an absolute worldie here through this final sector if he's going to have any chance of nabbing pole position. I think it's going to be front row at best for him. Part Poop is done for the session, so he's not going to move ahead of John Boy. Diabetic Lamb's also done, so he's now no longer a threat to John Boy's front row start either. But here comes John Boy out of the final corner. If he messed up his final sector on his fastest current run, this might be a big improvement. Here he comes over the line. No, nowhere. Still over a second adrift of Mike's fastest time. So it is going to be Mike taking pole with John Boy alongside him on the front row. But unless John Boy gets a good start here, I reckon he's going to really struggle to contend with the pace of Mike. But nonetheless, that is the qualifying session. Then Mike and John Boy on the front row with Cobb and Part Pooper on row 2. Big Blue and Diabetic Lamb 5th and 6th, followed by Smoky Devil and Aussie Albie. Thoriston, Craig completing the top 10. BT and Nicky on the back row. Be the only standing start of the night, straight into the race. No warm up, no preparation. It's just literally drop the hammer, drop the clutch, and go.
Yeah, it's straight balls to the wall from the moment go to the second of that checkered flag falls.
No pit stops either, so no respite, no chance to get yourself together and rethink your strategy. It's just like you say, there is no respite, no rest, no moment to even breathe here. So it's going to be a challenge, but obviously these guys do it week in, week out. It's what we expect. But the question is, Iain, can we see John Boy take this fight to Mike? The pace that we've seen Mike on so far, has he got any chance?
It all depends on exactly how good of a start he can get. Because if Mike gets bogged down That's going to be the only chance he ever has.
If Mike leads into turn 1, do you think it's bye-bye, Mike?
Yeah, definitely.
Could be a battle for P2 here tonight. Could be like the F1. Mike is a very, very strong driver around this Zolder circuit. But here we go. We are moments away from lights out here as Zolder for the GT4 Championship. This is race 2 of this round 8 of the season. Here we are. Lights coming on now. And it is lights out and away we go. And John Boy did get an okay launch. But Mike there got a decent launch as well as they come into turn 1. It's going to be Mike leading ahead of John Boy. Cobb there is in third, but he's got Part Pooper on his inside. Part Pooper is trying to stay ahead of Big Blue. Big Blue's going around the outside of Part Pooper here as these two are side by side. I think Big Blue's going to have the inside, but then that's gone. Oh, and somebody's spun in the background there. Well, we've lost the driver here. Diabetic Lamb's lost it coming out of turn 1 as Part Pooper trying to hold it around the outside of Big Blue. Big Blue there's going to maybe get the move here done into turn 4 as Doris has moved ahead of a Smokey up into... Aussie up into P6, but Part Pooper there holding on ahead of Big Blue for the time being in 4th place. But it's Mike from John Boy with Cobb, with Part Pooper ahead of Big Blue, and then Doris Deer, Aussie Albie, Smoky Devil ahead of Craig, followed by BT Targa, as the cameraman has decided to take a day off there going through turn 4. We didn't see any of what was going on. God knows what on earth the Project Cars 2 cameramen are doing, but that was a big wallop there from John Boy over the chicane, Ian.
Yeah, I honestly thought he could do a lot better of a Fury move and try and go to the International Space Station like he did in a separate league.
LMP2s.
Yeah. So, yeah, he obviously tried to take a lot of motivation from Fury there.
It's worth a try, isn't it, I guess? You know, there's no harm in trying.
Oh yeah, it's always worth a try, but...
Oh, what's happened to BT? BT's had a moment. He's dropped well off of the back. Sorry to completely just cut you off there, but BT Targa has had a big incident here on his first lap and is now 15 seconds off of the race lead before we've even really got going here.
Oh, that's Commentator's curse at his finest right there.
It really is, because we saw in the first race of the night how strong he was looking in those opening laps, and obviously with the advantage of, well, saying that he was still starting at the back, because he opted not to set a lap, but yeah. The second race has not gone the way that I'm sure he would have been envisaging, especially after that first race where he came off the blocks absolutely firing.
Oh, John Boy's dropped back. He's in front now. Cobb's
Yeah,
ahead of him.
Yeah, what happened to John Boy? I didn't see what happened there. Did Cobb make a move or did John Boy drop it? Not 100%, but Part Pooper looking quite racy here on the back of John Boy. So John Boy struggling to stay afloat here as Part Pooper's got a bit of a slipstream, but I think he's a little bit too far back as they go into the first chicane. He's not going to be able to make a move from there. It's actually quite a fast chicane. It's quite deceiving, isn't it? It looks tight. It looks like it's a heavy braking chicane, but it's actually a lot faster than you anticipate it's going to be. Once you get to the turn-in, you can floor it, and you're on the throttle before you even get anywhere near that second apex.
Yeah, it's all really dependent on what cars you're using, but these GT4s, that chicane is a breeze. What's happened with Nicky? He just came out the pits.
Oh no, Nicky really struggling driving RMS Titanic here tonight, he said in the comments, and he has dropped down to P12, and he's out of the... No, he's not out of the race. Who? Nicky's in the pits, but it's somebody else who retired. Oh, Diabetic Lamb retired. Right, so we've lost Diabetic Lamb. But John Boy having a look on Cobb into the chicane, too far back at the moment, has to hold position for the time being. So Nicky is still going actually, he's not in the pits. But he's had a bit of a nightmare so far.
Very much. It's always unfortunate to see, but, you know, life goes on.
BT Targa's reeling in the drivers just up the road from him. We've got Doris Steer and Smokey battling it out over 8th and 9th places. BT Targa was 6 seconds quicker than Smokey, who had a bit of a mare. He was 2 seconds quicker than Doris Steer as well, so BT Targa is surely going to be eyeing up at least a P8 here in this second race of the night. He's got the pace to be up there fighting for the podium, so it'll be damage limitation for him, but nonetheless, at least some sort of recovery. But we're watching the battle for P2 right now because it is currently best of the rest here. Cobb, John Boy and Part Pooper running quite close. They're nowhere near the race leader Mike, who has absolutely ridden off into the sunset over the course of this second race.
Well, we just need to hope that it doesn't get a little bit too enthusiastic on the power coming out of any of these chicanes, because as we saw from race 1 with Big Blue, he went in with a little bit too much heat and he just dropped it.
Yeah, he absolutely did. So it's yeah, like you say, it's going to be about keeping it together. But currently, Cobb's still just ahead of John Boy as they're coming down the back straight towards the chicane. And John Boy trying his best to get back ahead of Cobb after he obviously was running in P2 in the early stages. Cobb found a way through, and John Boy's stuck to the back of him since then, has not let him off the hook at all. Park Pooper still waiting in the wings, hoping he might be able to get a podium here in this second race of the night. These guys are well clear of Big Blue, who was obviously leading the race in the first race due to the reverse grid and managed to stay ahead of Mike for a good few laps. It was on the penultimate lap where Mike finally managed to make his way through. But Big Blue still had a good showing in that first race, and he's doing an okay job so far in this one as well. Only 3 seconds off of a second place here, only 2 seconds off of a podium. So yeah, he's keeping it nicely at the moment.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more consistent drivers tonight. He's not, in terms of race pace, he's probably not as fast as the rest of the drivers ahead of him, but he's probably one of the more consistent drivers on the track tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Ozzy and Craig still battling over 6th and 7th places as they're coming down the back straight. You can see Craig's a little bit too far back on him just at the moment, as John Boy has got a good run coming out of the first chicane, and he's moved ahead of Cobb up into 2nd place. So Cobb there must have got a bit onto that curve, Ian. You know how easy it's done to get sideways on that second apex. And John Boy said, see you later, Cobb. And P2 is his.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I hate this track on any game, especially this of course Commentator on it. It's a horrible chicane to go through.
As we've just lost Diabetic Lamb, he is disconnected from the race, and Nicky's left the session, so hopefully we'll see him back in to get those wheel settings sorted out. But we're riding on board with Park Pooper here as they're coming towards the end of lap 4, as he's looking to try and pile the pressure here on the back of Cobb. Cobb currently in the middle of John Boy and Park Pooper here as they go into the bus stop. But yeah, Park Pooper just squeaking a little bit closer. Oh, he's lost it out of the final corner there. Park Pooper bins it into the barriers as well on the outside of the track. And Big Blue there moves through up into 4th place. Big Blue now only 3 seconds off of a podium place. Park Pooper there is going to be falling back into the clutches of Ozzy Albie, who's coming up on the scene. What a shame there for Park Pooper, as he was looking quite strong here in this one.
We stuck with him too long.
We were literally riding on board with him at the time.
We stuck with it too long. We passed on the commentator's course. It became physical.
Apologies, Park Pooper. Sorry about that. That was our bad. That was our bad. That was my fault. That one. That was, yeah.
You're gonna have to pay some major compensation to his family for that. And
nah.
by major compensation, I mean like a single penny.
Yeah. I just pop. Yeah. Oh, 50, nah, come on, mate. Be fair. 50, at least 50p.
We'll call it 40.
How about a 20p?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
You can get yourself a lot of mix up. Oh, it's cool. When a little bit deep going into that race, we have a few connections.
Oh well. Anyway, we've got Mike here, who's got a rather sizable lead. He seems to be in dominant form here tonight. He's just got something around Zolder that I don't think the others really are able to produce.
Forest here, BT Tuggers back behind Smoky Devil and Forest here.
Oh no, what happened to BT? So he was obviously running in 8th place. He got ahead of these two. He was kind of in no man's land, wasn't he? Because he had got ahead of them, but he was nowhere near Park Pooper. Now he's got a bit of a chase on again. Maybe he's just trying to make his race a bit more interesting.
Well, no, that's why he chose the KTM to begin with.
Yeah, that's a fair point actually. Yeah, why on earth would you do that?
Well, it could have been worse. They could have chose the Mustang. We saw one person do that in the past, and that didn't go too well for them.
Who was that?
Oh, it was a couple of rounds ago. I remember someone jumping in on the Mustang. It was a...
Oh, Totally Zero.
Yeah, he dropped in with the Mustang.
As we see Park Pooper dropping it out of turn 1 again. It's going from bad to worse for him after he was in a fight for the podium not long ago. And he's now absolutely nowhere here in this race. He's 8 seconds behind Craig, who's running in P6. He's about 9 seconds out of Smoky Devil, who's currently in 8th.
I'm more sure I just saw Craig take a little bit of a spin there, I think.
Might have been a half spin.
His back end definitely got away from him
Yeah, he lost about a second to Parpuba, or 2 seconds in fact, because Pop is now only 6 seconds behind him. Ozzy Albi's a lot more comfortable now to Craig than he was a few moments ago. As John Boy's pulled away from Cobb a bit, as you can see there, 2.5 seconds currently separating those two. Big Blue's dropped it. Big Blue's had a moment there. Ozzy up into P4. Oh, Big Blue is starting to fall apart now for him as well. Big Blue, Parpuba, these two drivers, they were up there or thereabouts. Now Big Blue's got Craig crawling over the back of him as they come into the final sector. He's looking to the outside here. Is Craig, as Big Blue covers that inside line, goes a little bit deep there into the corner. But nothing doing there for Craig for now.
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing though. One driver who could be a big contender for the win in the final race of the night, BT Targa, because he'll start on, well, at least third. But if Diabetic doesn't join back, it'll be second. You know, that could be massive for BT in this final race of the night, if he wants to take his position, that is.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out whether or not you want to make that and then make your next race a lot easier, or whatever. You know, it is one of those things.
Yeah, Craig and Big Blue having a bit of a battle there. Craig's come out on top in that one for now, but Big Blue's staying on him for the time being, as we've got 3 laps left to go here in this second race of the night. He's still right there with him, as Big Blue's looking to try and get a bit of a cut back here, coming now onto the back straight. As you can see there, Craig trying to limit Big Blue's options, but Big Blue's going to pull out to the right hand side of your screen now, looking to the inside into the first chicane. Too far back at the moment. Craig holds on to that one with a much better run coming through that chicane, and Big Blue walloping the apex there on the exit of the chicane as well. But these two having an intriguing battle at the moment, and Craig holding on. He's obviously taken that position quite recently, and he's holding on to it as things stand. Oh, Big Blue's dropped it.
Oh no!
What's happened? Big Blue's dropped it. So Parpuba is up into 6th place. Big Blue's falling backwards down to 7th place, so he's lost a place there. Oh no, he's lost about 5 seconds in that one.
Oh.
What a shame. And it's, yeah, like I say, when it rains it pours, and for Big Blue it's been backwards here, backwards trajectory for the last few laps. John Boy's pulling away from Cobb in the battle for 2nd place. He's got 3 seconds now over him at the moment, so John Boy looking more and more secure in that P2. Mike in the meantime is just cruising out the front. 1:38 from Mike. He's 2 seconds quicker than anybody else out there at the moment.
That's just, I think we need to add some ballast to him for it at the...
Oh, Mike's lost it! Mike spun it there coming out of the first chicane. He's off onto the gravel. It's not going to make too much of a difference because he's got such a massive lead. But wow, the man's human.
As we see John Boy just absolutely throw that Janelle all over the curbs.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Mike there dropping it out of nowhere. He's still got about a 6-second gap right now over John Boy, so he should be okay. But that was just very unexpected there.
Well, I did say, and the only thing that can really stop Mike from taking this win tonight, the second race, will be
Mike.
the fact it will be, it could only be him.
And it proved to almost be the case, but he managed to get it going quite quickly there. Only lost about 5 seconds with that spin, but John Boy creeping up on him here. You can see the gap 5 seconds, and if Mike does that again, saying that we've only got 1 lap left to go, so there's limited time for any issues to reoccur. But if they do, then John Boy's going to be there to capitalise. You can bet on that. As we see Ozzy Albi there in the background, P4. You've got Craig and Parpuba there running reasonably close still, but Craig looking like he's a bit more comfortable in that position. Big Blue a little way behind them in P7. Mike currently he's on the final lap of the race. His gap to John Boy 5 seconds at the moment. Mike's been consistently lapping in the 38s. John Boy 1 minute 40 on the last lap. Cobb also in the 140s, but Mike is currently dominating the GT4s. It's been the same story now for the last couple of weeks. He seems to be coming into his stride finally this season, just Mike in these cars. After a tricky start to the season, he's really in his element now.
Yeah, I don't understand why it was such a bog at the beginning of the season. Maybe it was his car, maybe it was...
Hadn't got to grips with it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was just having some issues getting used to the car, because obviously he drives the BMW for the touring cars, and maybe thought that after being so successful in the BMW there, he could just jump into the GT4 spec and it would be the same, but it's just not the case, unfortunately. But he seems to be getting familiar with it now, and he's just running away with it.
Here he comes then into the final sector, does Mike, and he's just got up and gone here. He came from the back of the grid in the first race to win, and in this second race he started near the front. He endured a brief bit of pressure at the start, but got his way through that without any fuss, and he's going to take the win here again. It's going to be 2 from 2 so far here for Mike. I wouldn't bet against him taking it 3 from 3 in the final race, but for the time being Mike has won both races here tonight at Zolder. John Boy's going to come over to take second place, not too far behind in the end, as he slows it down quite considerably there at the end. Cobb's going to come over to take P3, as over the line he comes right now. Ozzy's going to finish this one in P4 as he finishes the race. It's going to be Craig who's coming out of the final corner here to take 5th place, and he's not too far ahead of Big Blue and Part Pooper. Actually, Part Pooper's dropped behind Big Blue on this last lap, so Part Pooper must have dropped it somewhere. Big Blue takes P6 in the end, getting him on the final lap there. In fact, no, Big Blue gives the position to Part Pooper, so wonder if those two have had a bit of a collision maybe. Part Pooper P6, Big Blue 7th. BT will be the next over the line here in 8th, as he's just ahead of Doris Deer, who gets it a little bit wrong there coming out of the final corner. So BT Targa takes 8th, Doris Deer in 9th. BT, I've been looking forward to seeing him up the sharp end for the final race of the night. That will be exciting to see, because he's been strong. That is if he takes his position. He doesn't have to. He's not obliged to. But Smoky Devil here out of the last corner is going to be the last driver to finish the race here in this second race, and it'll be a P10 here for Smoky, and that is that then for the second race. So Mike taking another win. Can anybody stop him from making it a clean sweep here at Zolder tonight? It's John Boy and Cobb for the podium places. We'll be posting the new stream live in about 5 minutes, so yeah, keep an eye out keep an eye out for that on the Discord.